And joining us now here on the program, pleased to have with us Nick Lewitt from RCIS. Nick, great to talk with you here today. I hope you're doing well. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm really excited to talk to you today as well. My name is Nick Lewitt. I'm a precision ag specialist at RCIS, kind of covering the whole country as we talk about today and what benefits that can bring to our growers and our agency force as well.
Fantastic. Well, let's talk a little bit about this precision ag conversation. And I know just to start, data is a huge part of agriculture as we continue to, kind of expand our capabilities. And I want to know, in your mind, how could farmers use all this data that they are collecting to kind of leverage their crop insurance reporting? Because I know that is a big task for our farmers. So can you talk about that a little bit just to start, Nick?
Yeah, so the great thing is you can use that precision ag data for crop insurance reporting for acreage, claims, and even like APH reviews, for example, utilizing that data. The nice thing is we take a very bare minimum of what actually is captured in the field. We want to know the plant date, how many acres, and what crop. We're not necessarily trying to pull which varieties are planted or anything like that. So it's a pretty basic version of data they're already capturing in the field to make it pretty much a seamless process for them to transfer that data to RCS and use it for their reporting needs.
So I know, you mentioned you're a precision ag specialist there with RCIS. So how do these precision ag tools, and how do folks like you use them at RCIS to provide accurate data? Do farmers need to do anything different than what they currently do with their data collection to help out with their crop insurance reporting? Can you talk about some of the nuts and bolts and the ins and outs of what you guys do there to help at RCIS?
Yeah, so that's a great question. We have two partnerships that we utilize pretty heavily in order to get that data to flow over to RCS from what I would call their farm management system. So once they've captured that data in the cab, being able to utilize it and do their own analytics and research from that data in their farm management software. We've partnered with John Deere Operations Center in 2021 and then Climate Field View last year in 2022. And that allows the data to flow to their agent directly from those farm management systems if it's set up and they wish to have that done. We can take data from any type of manufacturer. It doesn't have to be one of those two partnerships that we do have with those organizations, but we can actually read data from any machine if the producer provided that to their agent to be able to read that for the reporting needs that they do have.
So definitely keeping it simple for our farmers there in the cab and not really changing anything, right, Nick?
Exactly. It's just about being able to capture data. If we can capture that planting, seeding data, that harvest data, we can utilize that. One thing I kind of will call out, you can use planting data by itself according to RMA's rules, who governs crop insurance. But to do production, you must also use acreage to be a hard record at that point. There's another calibration form that's needed in order to utilize that. But when I go see growers, the majority of them are already doing all this data collection. It's just getting it from their farm management system or their equipment to RCS and their agent to be able to process that data for them.
Well, Nick, thinking about all of this data that farmers are collecting and just the continuous improvement in precision ag and data collection having an impact on crop insurance, do you think will this have a broad impact on crop insurance types that are available to farmers in different areas as we collect more of this data? I mean, what's the future kind of look like here, Nick?
Yeah, I mean, precision ag and crop insurance is evolving. It's been out for a while. Our mission at RCS is to make it more efficient, easy to use, and so it gives the grower more time with their back in the day instead of going traditional methods. And maybe that traditional method would be at the farm service agency, bringing the maps to their agent, having that work done. We can actually take the data they actually use in the field and utilize that to make sure they're adequately covered for the correct coverage they purchase as well. The biggest thing I would say from that perspective as we evolve is, one of the things I think is a huge part to precision ag and crop insurance, especially in areas like South Dakota that you talked about. Any producer that has an irrigation system, before they had to have a discernible break around that. Now with precision ag, you can plant and harvest straight through that field using a planted irrigated boundary to keep those separated, or a planting prescription to show their rate change. And so that's a huge thing when it comes into acreage reporting and production reporting, because now you're not taking a load to town of the dryland corners and the irrigated pivot. You actually are able to harvest it all as one and use precision ag to split that out. So that's a huge time savings for that grower as well.
Fantastic. Well, Nick, great insight, great information. Anything else you could think of that we haven't touched on you want to add here today? And I'm sure as well, if folks have more questions, they could reach out to RCIS. They can go online, rcis.com. I'm sure there's a lot of different ways to get in touch, isn't there, Nick?
Yep, 100%. I think the biggest thing is we keep seeing adoption of precision ag and crop insurance. If you're really interested, please talk to your agency. We're more than happy to help them get started and work through that process with them as well. And we just really want to make it more efficient, more innovative for that grower. So, if they're in the cab and data's flowing off electronically with their wireless data transfer, we can get that and have their crop insurance ready when they're done at the end of the year. We just really want to focus on our customers and simplify that process, and make it better in their experience, right? Realistically, they bought technology to make their life easier, and that's what we're trying to do here at RCS is make their life easier by using precision ag data. So they're not going through and spending hours, drawing on FSA maps or going to their agency's office. It's readily available as soon as they get there.
Fantastic. Well, again, folks can get more information, reach out, rcis.com. With that, Nick Lewitt with RCIS. Thanks for joining us here today, and we'll look forward to talking to you again in the future. Thanks so much.
Sounds great. Thanks for your time today, Jesse. I appreciate it.